cast my mind back to that summer of 1936, different kinds of memories offer themselves to me. We got our first wireless set that summer. Well, a sort of a set. And it obsessed us. And because it arrived as August was about to begin, my Aunt Maggie, she was the joke of the family, she suggested we give it a name. She wanted to call it Lugh, after the old Celtic god of the harvest. Because in the old days, August the 1st was Lughnasa, the feast day of the pagan god Lugh. And the days and weeks of harvesting that followed were called the Festival of Lughnasa. But Aunt Kate, she was a national school teacher and a very proper woman. She said it would be sinful to christen an inanimate object with any kind of name, not to talk of a pagan god. So we just called it Marconi, because that was the name emblazoned on the set. And about 3 weeks after we got that wireless, my mother's brother, my Uncle Jack, came home from Africa for the first time ever. For 25 years he had worked in a leper colony there, in a remote village called Rianga in Uganda. The only time he ever left that village was for about 6 months during World War I, when he was chaplain to the British Army in East Africa. Then back to that grim hospice where he worked without a break for a further 18 years. And now in his early 50s and in bad health, he had come home to Ballybeg, as it turned out, to die. And when I cast my mind back to that summer of 1936, these two memories of our first wireless and of Father Jack's return are always linked. So that when I recall my first shock at Jack's appearance, shrunken and jaundiced with malaria, at the same time I remember my first delight, indeed my awe, at the sheer magic of that radio. And when I remember the kitchen throbbing with the beat of Irish dance music being to us all the way from Athlone, and my mother and her sisters suddenly catching hands and dancing a spontaneous step dance and laughing, screaming. At the same time, I see that forlorn figure, Father Jack, shuffling from room to room as if he were searching for something but couldn't remember what. And even though I was only a child of 7 at the time, I know I had a sense of unease, some awareness of a widening breach between what seemed to be and what was, of things changing too quickly before my eyes, of becoming what they ought not to be. That may have been because Father Jack had not turned out at all like the resplendent figure in my head. Or maybe it was because I had witnessed Marconi's voodoo derange those kind, sensible women and turn them into shrieking strangers. Or maybe it was because during those Lughnasa weeks of 1936, we were visited on 2 occasions by my father, Jerry Evans. And for the first time in my life, I had a chance to observe him.
To get a decent mirror to see ourselves in.
You can see enough to do, you.
I'm going to throw us all cracking out.
Indeed you're not, Chrissy. I'm the one that broke it, and the only way to avoid 7 years bad luck is to keep on using
You
it.
can see nothing in it.
Except more and more wrinkles.
You know what I think I might do? I think I just might start wearing lipstick.
Do you hear this, Maggie? Steady on, girl. Today it's lipstick, tomorrow it's the gin bottle.
I think I just might.
Not as long as Kate's around. You see?
Take that, Rosie!
Told ya.
That I'll set useless. Oh, for God's sake, there's an iron in there! No, I don't know!
Oh, don't just see me ironing.
No!
No!
Oh, you've lost it!
Rosie, come give me a hand with this, please.
Mother Maggie, go! Don't Maggie, what? Try to stop her.
What you think we're going? Are we?
Oh no! Why?
We're Costs 4 and 60 again. I have £5 saved. I'll take ya.
I'll take
take us all. Kate, how long has it been since we were at the harvest dance? At any dance. I don't care how young they are. How drunk and dirty and sweaty they are. That's the blood of Lughnasa, Kate. I'm only 35. I want to dance.
I know.
It's settled. We're going. All 5 of us together. The Mundy girls. Oh, like we used to. Like we used to. I love you, Aggie. I love you. Biscuits. Will you come dancing? Will you come? Bring your own Christmas cooks are in the mood. Who's the leading boy there? Oh, no, wait.
Just look at yourselves, would you? Look at yourselves. Dancing is our time of day. That's for young people with no duties and no responsibilities, and nothing in their heads but pleasure. Kate, I think you want the whole countryside to be laughing at us. Mature women of our years, dancing. God, what's come over you all? And this is Father Jack's home. We must never forget that, ever. Now we're going to no harvest dance.
But you just said
There's
that!
no more discussion about it. The matter's over. I don't want to mention it again.
The fox is back.
Did you see him?
He has a whole shoot in the hen house door.
Did you get a good look at him, Aunt Maggie?
Wasn't I talking to him? He was asking for you.
Ha ha. What's that you got in your hands?
Something I found.
What?
Sitting very still at the foot of the holly tree.
Show me.
Say please 3 times.
Please, please,
In
please.
Swahili.
Are you going to show it to me or are you not?
Now go. Put your ear over here. Shh. Listen. Do you hear it?
I think so. Yes.
What do you hear?
Something.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure. Show me, Aunt Maggie.
All right. Get back a bit. Bit further. Right?
Yes. What was it?
Did you see it?
I think so. Yes.
Wasn't it wonderful?
Was it a bird?
Colors are so beautiful. Trouble is, just one quick glimpse. That's all you'll ever get. And if you miss that,
What was it, Aunt Maggie?
don't you know what it was? It was all in your mind. Now we're quits. Ha!
I beg your pardon, roll upon.
Oh, come in. Join us, Jack.
May I?
You're looking well, Jack.
Yes. I expected to enter my bedroom through. Oh, what I am missing, what I require, I had a handkerchief in my pocket, and I think perhaps
Oh,
I may have left it in here somewhere. Do you?
Here.
Oh,
Here's your handkerchief.
I thank you. I'm grateful. It is so strange. I don't remember the architecture, planning. No, what's the word? Mayor. I don't recollect the layout of this home scarcely. It is strange, isn't it? I thought the front door was there. Oh, you want the village to buy stores, Agnes?
it's Kate. And doesn't people were asking for you?
Remember me?
Well, of course they remember you. And when you're feeling stronger, they're going to have a great public welcome for you. With flags and bands and speeches and everything.
Why would they do this?
Because they're delighted you're back.
Yes.
Because they're delighted you're home.
I'm afraid I don't remember them. I couldn't name 10 people in Ballybeg now.
It will all come back to you, don't worry.
I think so.
Yes, as well.
I feel the climate's so cold, if you'll forgive
Perhaps
me.
you should go lie down for a while.
I may do that, yes, thank you.
Oh,
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 thank you. Oh, you're most kind. Thank you.
Mikey.
When I was 16, I remember slipping out one Sunday night. It was this time of year, beginning of August, and Bernie and I met at the gate in a workhouse, and a pair of us off to a dance in Ardstraw. I was being pestered by a fellow called Tim Carlin at the time, But it was really Brian McGuinness that I was keen on. Remember Brian with the white hands and the longest eyelashes you ever saw?
Ask him in and give the creature his tea. And stay the night if he wants to, but in the outside loft and alone. Now the newspaper almost needed it, you see it.
Where is he now? In the garden?
I haven't seen my newspaper things.
Lying on the turf box.
How are you, Chrissy? Great to see you.
Hello, Sheridan.
How have you been for the past 6 months?
13 months.
13, never.
July last year, July the 7th.
Wow. Where does the time go? Do you see this country? This country is gramophone crazy. I'll give you an example. Day before yesterday, just west of Oughterard, spot this small house up on the side of the hill. Something seemed just right about it, you know? Anyhow, off the bike, up the lane, a knock, and out comes this enormous chappie with red hair. I promise you, I show him the brochures and we talk for 10 minutes, and just like that, he takes 4, 1 for himself and 3 for his married daughters.
He took 4 gramophones.
4 brochures. Oh, but you'll buy. I promise you, you're fine. I have a gramophone. I could have got one for your wholesale.
It's a wireless set.
Oh, very, very posh.
It doesn't go half the time. I guess it's the huge one.
Now, I know nothing about radios, but I could take a look at it.
Some other time. When you come back?
And Agnes as well.
Fine.
Of all your sisters, she was the one that seemed to object the least to me. Tell her I was asking for her.
I'll tell her.
It was a good tune.
Oh, Jerry.
Don't talk.
What do you want?
Look the word.
Oh, they're watching us.
Who is?
Maggie and Aggie.
I hope so, Kate.
Jack.
Better still.
They're dancing. What? They're dancing together. God, for the cute one. He has her in his arms. What? Animal. They're dancing around the garden, Maggie. Oh, would you look at that cool little woman? Beautiful dancing.
She's leaving her straight there, Maggie.
Look at her face. She's easy led. Come here, let me see ya. Come on, sis. Can't you see the time?
There's lots of women taking out and she reached out to do well with dance. Just look at her. She's like that vulnerable woman. And one thing soldiers when she's kind of does dance well together. They're a beautiful couple. She's as beautiful as Ernie O'Donnell, anything.
You know the words.
9 words.
Not even the why, this is more important. Marry me, Chrissy. Are you listening to me?
I hear you.
Will you marry me when I come back in 2 weeks?
I don't think so, Jerry.
I'm mad about you. You know I am. I've always been mad about you.
When you're with me,
Leave this house and come away with me.
walk out to me. You wouldn't intend it, but that's what would happen because that's your nature and you can't help yourself.
Not this time, Chrissy. This time will be different, I promise.
No more words. Okay, dance me down the lane. And then you leave.
The omens are terrific this time. Believe me, Chrissy, the omens are unbelievable this time.
Get away. Dancing.
Some of Aunt Kate's forebodings weren't all that inaccurate. Indeed, some of them were fulfilled before the festival of Lughnasa was over. She was right about Father Jack. He had been sent home by his superiors, not because his mind was confused, but for reasons that became clearer as the summer drew to a close. And she was right about losing her job in the local school. The parish priest didn't take her back when the new term began. But that had more to do with Father Jack than with fallen numbers. And she had good reason for being uneasy about Rose, and had she known about Agnes too. But what she could not have foreseen was that the home would break up quite so quickly, and that when she would wake up one morning in early September, both Agnes and Rose would have left forever. But she was wrong about my father. I suppose their natures were so out of tune that she would always be wrong about my father. Because he did come back in a couple of weeks, as he said he would. And although my mother and he did not go through a conventional form of marriage, once more they danced together, witnessed by the unseen sisters. Only this time it was a dance without music. Just there, in ritual circles round and round the square and down the lane and back up again. Slowly, formally, with easy, deliberation. My mother with her head thrown back, her eyes closed, her mouth slightly open. My father holding her just that little distance away from him so he could regard her upturned face. No singing, no melody, no words. Only the swish and whisper of their feet across the grass. I watched the ceremony from behind that bush. But this time they were conscious only of themselves and of their dancing. And when he went off to fight with the International Brigade, my mother grieved as any bride would grieve. But this time there was no sobbing, no lamenting, no collapse into a depression.
Jack. We'll leave these where we found them. They belong to a child now. Now let's go for our walk.
Nag, that sounds funny. That's not a word, is it? Nag?
Nag. Yes, to keep on with somebody.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Nag. Oh, great. My English vocabulary is returning. Nag. Oh, still sounds a bit strange.
Time for another walk, Jack.
Just about to set out on number 4, Kate. And thank you for keeping at me.
No sign of Rose and Agnes yet.
They said they'd be back for tea. They're away picking bilberries.
You used to pick bilberries, do you remember?
Yes. Down by the old quarry.
The very place.
Mother and myself. Every Lughnasa, the annual ritual, of course I remember. And then she'd make the most wonderful bilberry jam. And that's what you took to school with you every day all through the winter. A piece of soda bread and bilberry jam.
But no butter.
Except on special occasions when you had scones. And for some reason they were always buttered. I must walk down to that old quarry one of these days. Oh, dear, then the cherry, so sweeter than the berry. Oh, nymph more bright than moonshine night, like kindlings blithe and merry. Oh, where on earth did that come from? You see, Kate, it's all coming back to me.
Only from Agnes. All I want you to do is
She
tell me
knows
what you
all I
know.
know,
I
but
just
she
want
knows
you to
all
tell me the truth.
Hey,
That's do it, Kate! Stop that at once!
She may be in the town. No. She may be on her way back home. She may have taken a wee turn on her way back from the quarry. We're going to find her. You search the fields on the other side of the way. You take the lower side, down as far as the main road. You go to the old well and search all around there. I'm going into town to tell the police.
You're going to no police, Maggie. If she's mixed up with this bragging creature, I don't know what this broadcast on
I'm
the
going to the police and you'll do what I told you to do. Look, there she is. Oh, there she is. Oh. Rosie. God. She was right about you.
They're nice, Aggie. They're sweet. And you got 2 confuls. Good for you.
Is your stomach settled?
A stomach.
Said you were doing how you were going to come home and hold on for a bit. Do you remember?
Oh, I'm fine now, chaps.
could hunger. Let me tell you what's on the menu this evening. Our beverages, the usual hot, sweet tea. There's a choice between caraway seed bread and soda bread, both fresh from the chef's oven. But now we come to the difficulty. There's only 3 eggs between the 7 of us. I wish to God you'd persuade that white rooster of yours to lay eggs for us.
this man.
Of course, the soldier of the sycamore. Right, now my suggestion is eggs big. In other words, scrambled and served over lightly toasted caraway seed bread, followed for those so inclined by one magnificent wild woodbine. Everybody happy? Excellent, Margaret.
Hold on, please, we'll better start Sunday, Rosie. All right. I had your hands with you when you went to town. Did you take them with you? Where to, Rosie? Wherever you went. I hid them at the quarry behind the stone wall. They're safe there. I'll go back and pick them up later this evening. Does anybody know where my overall is?
It's lying across your bed. And you need to bring some more turf in, Rose.
I'll change first, Maggie.
Be quick about it.
How many pieces of toast do you want?
All that loaf. Go easy on the butcher, that's all we have. And parsley and just a whiff of basil. Now, I don't want you to get too optimistic, girls, but you should know I'm feeling very creative this evening.
I want to know where the big Rose. I've been gone for the entire afternoon.
Please,
What
Kate,
is
after
dinner
dinner.
you've been? 3 hours, Rosie. Did you hear what you said? Lughnasa?
Kate, just leave me
You
alone.
walked from the quarry to Lughnasa. Yes. Did you meet somebody there?
Yes.
And had you arranged to meet somebody there?
I had arranged to meet Danny Bradley there, Kate. He took me out in his father's blue boat. I don't want anything to eat, Maggie. I brought a bottle of milk and a packet of chocolate biscuits with me, and we had a picnic on the lake. Then the 2 of us went up to the back hills. He showed me what was left of the Lughnasa fires. Some of them were still burning away up there. We passed young Sweeney's house. You know, the boy who got burned. The boy you said was dying. Well, he's on the mend, Danny says. His legs will be scarred, but he'll be all right. It's a very peaceful place up there. There was nobody there but Danny and me. He told me his rosebud. Told you that before, didn't I? Then he walked me down as far as the workhouse gate, and I came on home by myself. And that's all I'm going to tell you. That's all any of you are going to hear.
What has happened to this
What's
house?
wrong
Not
with
now,
you?
I said.
I'll answer to Jerry. Do you want to see real class?
I certainly do, Maggie.
Stand back there, Colonel. Sherry Temple needs a lot of space.
Wow, 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 wow!
Hold your close, Jerry. Your legs are too wild.
Cut!
Anything goes.
What happened?
What are you after, Chrissy?
We're only going to the battery. And we won't get a new one until the weekend.
It wasn't meant to be, Jerry, but there'll be another day.
Oh, that's a promise, Maggie.
And so when I cast my mind back to that summer of 1936, different kinds of memories offer themselves to me. But But there is one memory of that Lughnasa time that visits me most often. And what fascinates me about that memory is that it owes nothing to fact. In that memory, atmosphere is more real than incident, and everything is simultaneously actual and illusory. In that memory, too, the air is nostalgic with the music of the 30s. It drifts in from somewhere far away, a mirage of sound, a dream music that is both heard and imagined, that seems to be both itself and its own echo, a sound so alluring and so mesmeric that the afternoon is bewitched, maybe haunted by it. And what is so strange about that memory is that everyone seems to be floating on those sweet sounds, moving rhythmically, languorously, in complete isolation, responding more to the mood of the music than to its beat. When I think of it as dancing. Dancing with eyes half closed because to open them would break the spell. Dancing as if language had surrendered to movement, as if this ritual, this wordless ceremony were now the way to speak, to whisper private and sacred things, to be in touch with some otherness. Dancing as if the heart of life and all its hopes might be found in those assuaging notes, those hushed rhythms, and those silent and hypnotic movements. Dancing as if language no longer existed, because words were no longer necessary.